Deep cries unto deep. Lord, I thank you for 1995. I thank you for what you did in that hour. I thank you for Steve Hill. But this is 2024. God, we need a new wave. May a spirit of intercession come today. May a spirit of a holy cry, Lord. There was no revival until there was a prayer meeting. There was no revival until there was a prayer meeting. Around 1991, God began to stir Steve Hill. He began to be discipled by Leonard Ravenhill. And Leonard Ravenhill would call him at 4 o'clock in the morning. He was already praying 4 or 5 hours a day. And Leonard would say, "What are you doing, Steve?" He'd say, "I'm asleep." He'd say, "I thought you wanted revival," and hang up on him. Praying 4 or 5 hours a day. That sounds like a bedrock of a prayer life. A month into this, he's calling him nearly every day. "What are you doing, Steve?" "I'm sleeping, Lynn." He'd hang up on him and say, "I thought you wanted revival." One night he said, "Steve, I've been praying for you all night, 8 hours. You need to get serious about God." That was early 1995. He began to pray 6, 7 hours a day, fast like crazy. God raised up that spirit of prayer all throughout the revival. Most don't know this. I wrote it in my book, Prayer That Ignites Revival. Steve prayed 7 hours a day at least throughout the entire revival. He fasted every day of the revival. He did not eat until he got home. What it took to birth it, Steve walked in to keep it. We got to birth it. God, let this service be an embryonic seed to cry out in holy desperation. God, do it again.
Fill this house with glory as we worship you.
We gotta pass it to the next generation.
Fire of heaven,
Lift your hands.
fall upon us. Fill this house with glory as we worship you. Let the fire of heaven come and fall upon us. Fill this house with glory as we worship. Let the fire of heaven come and fall upon us. Fill this house with glory as we worship you. Do it, Jesus. Let the fire of heaven come and fall upon us. Fill this house with glory as we worship you. We cry out, let the
And I would come in here in this building and I would scare myself, friend. It was the stillness of that dark, pre-dawn hours. 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd lay on that front row and I'd grab my belly and bellow out like a cow. Oh, God! I need you, Lord! I would walk these floors and I would cry out loud. I knew nobody was around and I knew nobody could hear. And I'd lift my voice sometime till I would be hoarse and I'd say, God! There's more! There's gotta be more!
I remember about a year ago, a secular reporter looking me in the eyes and asking this question. What is it about this place? What characterizes this place, making it different from other places? And one secular reporter, I believe it was Newsweek, I'm not sure, said, how come other churches that put up a sign out front that says revival have not had millions of people coming through their church? What makes this place different? And I was quick to tell her it's not the congregation, it's not the size of the church, it's not the campus here, it's not the neighborhood we're in, it's not the evangelist, it's not Lyndall Cooley, it's not Mike Brown, it's not any of us here that makes this place different. My answer to her was this one word: hunger. Hunger. I have found the secret. This is the secret. Getting from God what you want from God. This is the secret right here. Hunger. 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 Hunger.